has LeBron James had an easier path to greatness than MJ had in the 80s and 90s? Stephen A., you go first.
Without question. Without question. LeBron James had a tougher road in the finals. MJ went against Magic first, but that was not with Kareem, Worthy, Byron Scott, and those boys in their prime. It was with the Vlade Divacs and Eldon Campbells of the world. Okay, then my MJ went against Drexler and them. He showed Drexler loved Drexler, but Drexler wasn't on his level. Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, third go round. Nothing to sneeze at, no question. But they couldn't deal with the Pippen-Jordan combination. Sean Kemp, before he became Sean Clump, him with the glove, Gary Payton. That's what Seattle had. Not much else. Okay, no disrespect to the Nate McMillans of the world and others, but Seattle wasn't on Chicago's level, and neither was Utah, with Karl Malone and John Stockton pick and roll and all. LeBron James having to go through Golden State, losing to Dallas, going through KD, Russell Westbrook, Harden, those boys, even though they were young, still tough. San Antonio twice. We can't ignore that LeBron had a rougher road in the finals. But to get to the finals, I mean, please, LeBron was on a honeymoon throughout his career. I mean, it's the closest thing that I've seen to a honeymoon in basketball history, playing in that damn Eastern Conference. I don't even want to hear it. Night and day compared to what Jordan had to go through to get to the finals. That's why Jordan's road was considerably tougher.
I agree with some of what you said, Stephen A., except I think Jordan's record in the finals is really underrated. The reason we don't think of the Utah Jazz like we think of the Spurs or the Warriors recently is only because of Michael Jordan. No Jordan, and the Jazz win back-to-back championships. But Jordan's so great. Don't forget, they won 60-plus games a year and had a great, they were a machine the way the Warriors and the Spurs were later a machine. Meantime, who's going to beat the Jazz? Meantime, the Sonics won 64 games. 64 games when Jordan beat them. The Blazers were loaded. Again, Michael Jordan knocked out more 60-win teams in the playoffs than any player in the history of basketball. So his record in the finals even is underrated. I will say this, though. When you're the monster, you never have to slay the monster. Jordan was so much better than everyone, and then his team, because of Pippen, the addition of Pippen and Grant, and then later Rodman and Kukoc, those guys, they were always the heavy favorites in every series. So he never had to slay the monster. One of the reasons LeBron has a chapter in his story that Jordan doesn't have is because, frankly, he's not quite as good as Jordan, not quite as invincible. And the Warriors did ridiculous things. But to come back down in that series, to beat a 73-win team, and to hit the foul shot, the free throw that ices the game with a busted, like when he just hurt his wrist on the previous play, that's a moment Jordan doesn't have. And I liken it, Stephen A., in boxing, there's like Sugar Ray Robinson's the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. But again, when you're the monster, you never have to slay the monster. Ali, though he wasn't pound-for-pound what Ray Robinson was, he had that moment because of that where he was a 5-1 underdog, had to beat George Foreman. Moments like that, those are the moments LeBron has that Jordan doesn't have.
Well, Max, I would remind you that I think that Shaq and the Orlando Magic might have beaten Utah or Seattle. I don't think we can ignore that. And out of respect to LeBron, I'm not going to ignore how tough Boston was, even though I think that Boston crew with KG, Ray Allen, Rondo, Paul Pierce, and Kendrick Perkins, I think they were on their last leg when LeBron had ascended. That's why I think the road for Jordan was considerably tougher.
Guys, really quick, let's jump in with another fan question right before we finish up here. If Michael Jordan stayed with the Bulls for 2 more years, would they have won another championship? Max, go first.
No, they'd win 2 more championships. They'd have won the strike-shortened season. They were rolling. They rolled in under 6 games again. They would have won. And then look at what Scottie Pippen did with the Blazers 2 years later when they almost beat the Lakers. Lakers were lucky to win a 4-3 series the year they won the chip. If Pippen's with Jordan in them instead, Lakers ain't winning 4-3.
I think they probably would have won more. I think they would have won one more. It would have been tough against Tim Duncan and David Robinson, San Antonio Spurs. I think it's possible they were on their last legs and the Lakers were fresh and young. They possibly could have won that one, but that would have been dicey because of age and attrition. And the Lakers were young. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.